Now, occasionally a documentary is released that is crafted so well that it instantly grabs my attention and then enthralls me with twists that play out like an Agatha Christie mystery. Well, Netflix has brought one of those with Lover, Stalker, Killer. I think you're going to see some of the twists coming, but this is still almost too weird to believe. Dave was recently out of a long-term relationship and eager to restart his romantic life, so he did what most people do. He tried online dating. Liz and Cari were two of the most promising connections, both single moms with winning personalities who helped bring him out of his shell in different ways. It should have been an opportunity for this hard-working, devoted dad to enjoy a second chance at casual romance, but it turned into a twisted love triangle, putting Dave and everyone he cared about at risk. Now, typically I'm not a fan of reenactments within documentaries because they're cheesy and they detract from the seriousness of a situation. But the ones that are included here, especially because we get so much interview testimony from the actual people, the reenactments, they help to reinforce what's being described. Now, this case is twisty and strange, and it would actually make a decent mystery novel if a few of the items were more obscured. Now, I think somewhat early on you're going to be able to figure out what's going on with at least some level of certainty, but as the details and the facts are unveiled, doubts are raised thanks to complicated and convoluted events. Now, Dave, the subject of the documentary, provides a ton of interviews, speaking directly to us and bringing us along in the torturous emotional journey that he endured. Now, I think it also helps that Dave is a pretty genial guy. He comes across as meek, but not a wilting flower. He's somebody who's trying to move forward with a relationship and then being vulnerable with the camera as he shares some intimate thoughts and details. He also doesn't candy coat his interactions. He speaks openly and plainly, which then creates a large sense of trust and validity to his account. Now, the interviews with law enforcement, they also help to create an air of suspense and intrigue. And as crazy and creepy things begin to happen to and then around Dave, the more frightening and distressing things become, which then escalate into items that get the police actively involved. Now, I'd not heard about this case prior to watching, so everything was a new revelation to me. And the narrative, it does an effective job at doling out the facts in measured ways to maintain the urgency of the events, as well as then play out the mystery of what's going on. And what's crazy about this story is that it plays out over the course of about 4 years. And as the final details emerge, the story showcases deranged and dedicated behaviors that could create pause for anybody looking to enter the online dating world. And this isn't all shock and awe either. We see many heartbreaking moments as interviewees have to recount their feelings and their emotional states of past events. There are certainly traumatic events, and enough doubt is raised on some different individuals to create uncertainty about motives and actions. Even when you're pretty sure you know what went down. Now, this is presented as a movie rather than an episodic release. The 90-minute runtime, I think it's the perfect length. The narrative is efficient and quickly paced, not feeling like we're missing out on info, but also not getting bogged down in tangents that lead nowhere. The story is unveiled with just enough of it obscured to maintain the mystery, but then always delivering answers and conclusions so that we're not left hanging in the dark, just frustrated by some lack of resolution. Now, from a production standpoint, the documentary is visually beautiful, and especially with the interviews. They're intimate, personal, and while still maintaining an objective perspective. Hey, that rhymed. Well, there are also clips of videos and photos taken of Dave with the two different women that he was dating, helping to give us a greater glimpse into his life and then the events that become almost unbelievable. Now, from these, we can see the emotions on people's faces and get insight into their potential state of mind. Did they appear happy or maybe annoyed? Do you get the sense that one or maybe even both of them could be unhinged? And the way that this is shot and then edited work to craft a beautiful film that often contradicts the horrors that are being unveiled within the story. And the cautionary tale aspect of the storytelling, it's both relevant and captivating, especially because Dave is an everyman. He's not some uber-rich dude who'd be a target for grifters, and he's also not some ultra-fit hardbody who attracts vapid or superficial inquiries. He's just some random guy that blends in with those around him. And that almost makes it sound like he is some serial killer or something. Well, he's not. But that would be an awesome twist, right? So overall, for all the true crime documentaries that are available, Lover, Stalker, Killer is one of the better produced and told stories. The narrative is efficient in delivering facts while also bringing facts to light so they play out like the mystery this whole thing is. The interviews are captured and edited well to tell a cohesive and understandable story while also maintaining the appropriate level of horrific disbelief at what transpires. Surprisingly, the reenactments aren't bothersome and they end up enhancing the storytelling, reinforcing the personal accounts and adding heft to an already emotionally charged tale. There's no sexual nudity, a lot of profanity, and then some disturbing descriptions of violence. Now, as a reminder, I don't give couch ratings to documentaries, but I highly recommend checking out Lover, Stalker, Killer on Netflix, especially if you enjoy true crime and or mysteries. So had you heard of this case? If so, was anything new revealed by the documentary? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.